something you can't fix.
If you can't fix what's broken, you'll go insane.
It's Jay and Adam. It's Preview.
It's Preview's Fix It with Adam and Jay.
Hey, pages! Oh, welcome to Fix It, where friends don't let friends fix pop culture alone.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Jay. And you're our listener.
Hey there, hi there, ho there, ho 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 there, listeners.
Merry Switchmas,
Merry
everybody.
Switchmas. Tis the season to switch places with somebody else and learn a Christmas lesson. Or find love. I mean, either way.
Do you look like Ludacris? Switch bodies with him.
You're about to.
Welcome to Fix It. For those of you who may or may not know, I'm Jay. That's Adam.
Hello.
We're two of the hosts.
Two of
The hosts. You know, maybe we'll add more someday. You know, we'll smosh it up over here at Previewed. But we're we are the two hosts of Previewed on YouTube, that show that slinks in the darkness and brings vengeance to those who have wronged you.
Yes, because we're dressed in all black, Jay. No color here.
Yeah.
We blend into the shadows. The channel was born there, by the way.
Yes.
BT dubs.
Yeah, we are the most popular YouTube channel with contingency plans for all the other reaction channels if something goes wrong.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, what?
Shut up.
Yeah, they're not going to take that well.
They're not. Also, don't let them know
Yeah, but they need to understand that, like, you know.
that we're coming for them. If anyone steps out of line, we have
Look,
a divine
reaction
plan.
channels are some of the most powerful beings in the YouTube space. If anyone gets above their raisin a little bit too much, then, you know.
They reap what they sow.
We're here to protect the peace, Slash.
Oh, sure. Okay. Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, you may have seen us on Previewed, where we react, review, riff, and rate all sorts of stuff all across the nerd space.
Sure.
But this is our show, Fix It, where each week Adam and I take a piece of pop culture that maybe missed the mark, maybe didn't quite get there, maybe needs just a little bit of vitamin C to keep it from getting scurvy.
Just some.
Yeah.
What did Vitamin C say?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But I'm pretty sure she said something.
And we fix it. And for this show today, we have decided, since we are getting a long-awaited sequel to this billion-dollar industry.
Well over a decade.
In
the
over
making.
A decade, we are fixing 2009's Avatar.
The most profitable movie of all time. It made almost $3 billion at this point.
I have read, I think I saw it on Reddit, that basically this movie needs to make, in order to make a profit, this movie needs to make like $2 billion.
The Way of Water, the sequel?
Yes. Which is the kind of thing that's like, which sounds insane.
It is insane.
But given that the last one made,
Close to 3 over a decade. Well, I mean, basically the way profits work, I mean, there's like the cost of production.
Tell me how money worked, Daddy.
Sure. The cost of production, which for this movie is probably crazy high. Mm-hmm. And then the cost of promoting it, which is usually double the production cost.
Yeah.
Or it's just double the cost. So, like, if your budget for this movie was like $2 million, or I'm sorry, $200 million, which is probably not. But then, like, I think Black Adam was somewhere around $200 million, and then promotion was also another $200 million.
Yeah.
So all told, they probably spent around $400 million making and promoting this film. So because the movie made $470 million, you're like, well, it's a flop. And this actually came out last past week. Like, Black Adam was a flop, and The Rock came out and was like, hey. It made 70 million more than it. So technically, it's not a flop, guys. Also, shut up, WB. What are you doing? It's fun. I can't wait to see more of The Rock as Black Adam in other DC movies. Hey, James Gunn, make it happen. But if they spent over $1 billion over the past decade, production-wise and then promotion-wise for this film, that's insane. Even Endgame was like, I think somewhere like $500-600 million all told, production and promotion.
Oh, yeah.
So like it was the top ranking movie of all time, or making money of all time for a little while, but before Avatar's like, release it in China. Oh, there we go. We're back number 1. Haha.
Ha-ha!
Which I did. I don't like that type of move. But it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's going to make a lot of money. But Jesus, I don't. We'll talk about that soon. We'll talk. Well, you'll catch.
Ooh, I can just like see your brain starting to heat up a little bit.
The thermostat's kind of starting to move, or I guess it's.
Yeah, I feel like
We're in the yellow.
We're basically, I think, gonna like have opposite vibes of last week's episode from Die Hard.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. But before I, really toot and really get into it, hey Jay, how you doing this holiday season?
Man, Christmas is a creeping up in a way that I feel it's hurt my feelings how close Christmas is.
It's like it follows.
It's
just walking. Santa's just walking at a nice, normal pace, and we're trying to get so much done. And it's just like
I was like, oh, dude, I am not ready for Christmas in any capacity.
No.
Like, I'm not ready for it at all. And it's it's gotten to the point now where I'm like, we've entered the realm of like, is it reasonable getting a Christmas tree at this point? Am I going to spend that much money on getting a Christmas tree?
We have 2 weeks.
I just don't know. like that's the kind of conversations I have to have now. Where we're like, oh, Christmas is in 2 weeks. Like, you need to get all of your ducks in a row now, sir.
Yeah.
In a way that like I still don't know what I'm getting you for Christmas. I have no.
I don't know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
No clue.
We crushed it last year so much so that like I can't top last year or even equal it.
But also, and we've mentioned this many times, is that like we are in a space now where like since we started like a company around this, it's like we kind of have all the stuff that we want right now in a way that like it is a very blessed and amazing space. Thanks, Patreon.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
You got us all the gear we wanted.
Thank you for watching all the videos on YouTube. We appreciate it.
Like, what do you want for Christmas?
Yeah.
But seriously, what do you want for Christmas?
I don't know, Jay.
I did present. I did present to you. I was like, hey, what if not getting Christmas presents for each other this year, but instead we all just, like the four of us, you, me, Kimberly, and Amanda, plan like a Disney trip, like in lieu of like us getting each other Christmas presents this year, and like we just treat that as our Christmas. Mm-hmm. And you said,
It's such a hassle.
Sure.
It is. Traveling for me is a hassle.
Yeah, I know, but it's Disney World, dude. You don't want to go you don't want to see all your friends?
Do I want to see all my friends?
Yeah.
I don't. Not a lot of my friends are in Disney.
Come on, like Chip and Dale. Come on. Okay.
I don't think the Marvel Land has been built yet, but
we could go to California. They have Marvel Land in California.
Do they really?
Yes.
I've never been to California before.
Okay.
I just don't want to go to Star Wars World. Galaxy's Edge.
I want to go so bad.
I really don't.
I want to go so bad.
I
want to. All I want to do. Okay.
Yes.
I want to build a lightsaber.
I know.
In my head.
That part is cool.
In my head.
Sure.
I want to build a lightsaber, and I want it. I've always envisioned it, and I don't know why, but it's all just like Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. We're in their little uniforms,
little sashes, yeah,
and they're all like building lightsabers.
Sure,
and they're all like, "Oh, look, and green," huh. and then I want to be
pan over, and there's
just, and I'm the only one that just goes blood red. Jay, do you want to kill a bunch of younglings at your lightsaber build? Kinda.
Not no.
Not no. I just want to be the only red saber in there, in a major way. But they also don't sell my saber color at that, so that doesn't necessarily do it for me. And also, I wanna hop in. It's what I thought, like what I've always thought was cool about the Millennium Falcon. I want to get in that gunner seat.
Sure, absolutely.
And I want to put on the little headset.
Yeah.
And I want to scream yeehaw as I spin around and blow up TIE fighters.
Absolutely.
so bad.
Sure.
So bad.
I know.
Like, it'd be the kind of thing where if we were on comms with that, like, the people that I was doing the ride with would be like, you need to calm down.
Sir?
It'd be like,
Sir?
stop
Sir?
screaming yeehaw. Or it's like Yahoo. I can't remember what it's just, yeah, man.
Probably Yahoo.
Ooh. It feels good.
Yeah, I bet it would.
You need to be able to compartmentalize.
I can't.
I just, although I do love the idea of being like going on rides and coming back out and be like, where's Adam? And be like, you just like have, like you just explaining to the character dressed as Ray as to why you hate the movies.
You don't understand, Ray. Like Daisy Ridley's nice and all, but like you shouldn't exist. Kylo Ren, you should feel bad about your life choices. I feel sorry for you.
Got your little like notepad.
Yeah,
out,
it's like let me just say this is.
I made a pamphlet for you
guys. You
guys.
shouldn't be here.
Oh man. Yeah, but
pretty much.
But then I realized I like started to go out through all the reasons like why Disney would be fun, and then I realized it's like these are things that don't appeal to you. I'd be like, yeah, but like what about all like the food and stuff? And you're like, yeah, no. And I was like, yeah, but like we can drink around the world at Epcot. And you're like, not really interested in that. And I was like, come on.
I'll get through Germany at one beer. Where we start is where we're gonna end.
You don't start in Germany.
I don't know.
You start in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just so you know.
Oh,
just so you know.
There's a proper
previewed
order?
peaches.
Okay.
We are the previewed way is Mexico first. If you're gonna tell me Canada first at Epcot, then I'm sorry, you're gonna have to find another reaction channel. I'm drawing the line.
Oh, okay.
I'm drawing it.
So did you go like starting from the golf ball? Is it you're looking at the golf ball? Do you go right or do you go left around?
You take a left.
You go left. You go
left.
Yeah, go clockwise around the
I never thought about it in terms of a clock.
Go clockwise.
But yeah.
Turn left. Go clockwise.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have been Epcot Center in.
Did you say Epcot?
I did. In 3 decades, I think.
Oh, it's so good, dude. It's so much better.
Is the Aerosmith ride still there?
No, that's at Hollywood Studios.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
That's where Star Wars is.
No, it isn't. That's where Harry Potter is.
No, Hollywood Studio. No.
Oh, Hollywood Studio. I translated it to Universal in my head.
We can go to Universal too.
I wouldn't go to Harry Potter World.
I will say the Gringotts ride is my favorite park. Is my favorite ride in Orlando.
Oh wow!
But Plofsky has said that the Velocicoaster is the best ride he's ever been on.
The Velocicoaster?
Yeah, it's in Universal as well.
Oh,
it's like the new Jurassic Park coaster.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense.
Producer Brian here. I just wanted to agree with myself that Velocicoaster is the best ride in Orlando, only followed by Hagrid's motorbike ride, both in Universal. But Jay, I would absolutely go to Disney with you right now. Let's go to California, let's go to Florida, whatever. But in Epcot, you absolutely start with Mexico. You get the avocado margarita, you go around the World Showcase, and then you finish again in Mexico and you get another avocado margarita, no question. But what I really wanted to say is that you said that Avatar is the most profitable movie of all time. Avatar is the highest grossing movie of all time. Now, it's on the list of most profitable, but number one on that list, adjusted for inflation, is Gone with the Wind. Now, also on that list, and it was actually kind of hard to find a definitive list of that, not adjusted for inflation, is My Big Fat Greek Wedding and the original Friday the 13th. But I also want to say that, Adam, I totally agree with you. I think that re-releases adding to the total gross is like semi-cheating. I don't like it, but I understand why it's done. Anyway, back to you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Do you have to go like to get on the ride? Oh, home.
Yeah, like the ride is like it's very rambunctious, but you have to stand in front. You have to get on the track, stand in front of it, say hold,
and it works for everybody.
I think that's the best acting Chris Pratt has ever done, because I believe that for some reason I believe that hand stops the raptor. You know?
Sure.
Yeah. So the long and the short of it is I'm fine. Well, these are Cadillac problems to have.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But Christmas is coming and it's not stopping.
Yeah.
And we are woefully unprepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The holiday season, man, it's so. Christmas is my favorite holiday.
Sure.
With a bullet. I love Christmas. But like it's as an adult, it's so much more stressful.
Yes.
So much more stressful.
Because you still have to live and do all the things, but also get the presents and decorate and figure out
Make
the
sure
travel
everything.
plans.
Yeah,
and,
you
like,
have to make the
yes.
magic happen, which is tough.
Yeah.
So for those of you out there who make Christmas special for other people, we see you. We appreciate your hard work. Good
Exactly.
job.
Yeah.
Good job. But yeah, I'm fine.
That's good.
I'm all right. But I got to be honest with you.
Yes.
I rewatched Avatar
You did this week with the
with
peaches.
the Peaches on
Yeah.
the Discord watch along. If you haven't joined the Discord, check out the link below. It's the best community on the internet. I liked Avatar again. I liked it the first time.
Sure.
I liked it the second time.
Sure.
Is it too long? Yeah.
It's 3 hours.
Yeah, it's too long.
Yeah.
It's too long by by a long shot.
Yep.
But like, and that's the nicest thing about the watch-alongs is that we've had people that are like, I've never seen this movie before, and I was like, oh, I'm actually glad for that impetus.
Yeah.
Like
fresh
to
eyes.
see, see fresh eyes, and people are like these graphics are amazing. I'm like, yeah, even by today's standards, the original Avatar is some of the best CG ever.
Yeah. It
It's
holds up.
amazing.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. Zoe Saldana. I always say it wrong.
Zaldana. I thought it was with a Z. Saldana? Oh, it was with an S.
Zoe Saldana.
Yes.
There we go. She does not get enough credit, I think, for making the mocap
She's
face.
the heart of the movie.
She's incredible in this film. Incredible. But it is very difficult to make that kind of mask work that evocative, but she does a really excellent job.
Yeah.
Like the CG is it's the reason we have the movies we have today is this movie.
James Cameron pushed movie-making technology decades by his struggle to make this. Because he was writing this movie in 94 and
Right after he saw Pocahontas.
and couldn't figure out the technology, or the technology wasn't there yet to make the movie he wanted to make, and it took him until the aughts to pull it off.
Yeah.
Much like Lucas, like, well, I can't make any more Star Wars, the tech's not there, and then eventually it was, and like, well, I guess I'll scribble these things together, and no one will tell me no, and we'll make them. Great.
I'll scribble these things together and no one will.
He did. He
know.
hand wrote it.
I know.
And then James Cameron found himself in a similar position of, well, no one's going to tell me no anymore. I'm going to make Avatar. Wee!
And it's pretty awesome. Man, when they get on them banshees and fly around, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
It is.
Woo!
Woo,
It's got Sigourney Weaver in it. This movie
Sigourney
rules.
Weaver!
Okay.
Yes.
I just think the way I've been looking, the way I've been like arguing for this movie, and I think this holds water. Avatar is an opera, in that a lot of time, like, you know, when you go see the theater and you go see like a play or a musical or something to that degree,
Okay.
like you are dealing with like. Yeah, you are the script is very important.
Yes.
And the dialogue is very important, and like the overall like the structure, the storyline structure is like very important. But when a lot of times when you go see an opera, a lot of these were written in a different time,
Sure.
and there is a more of a focus in an opera for the showmanship, the grandiosity of the set, costumes,
Sure.
and things like that. But it's also really, at the end of the day, it's all about servicing the music.
Okay.
And I think Avatar is an opera.
Okay.
It is one of those moments where you need to just like stop harping on the plot and the script, which some of these scenes are bad. They're not very good.
Yep. Okay.
And what it really comes down to is that it's one of those moments where you kind of just need to shut up and enjoy
The explosions.
Yes.
Sure.
And I think this movie does a really good job of making that happen.
Yeah. It does. Here's the thing. I saw this movie when it came out in 2009 in 3D with my dad, and I hated it because the 3D was just like, why are we doing it? It was the only thing available at the time. I didn't realize it was 3D. We went in and I was like, oh, okay, well, sure, whatever. Boy, those first couple shots when Jake wakes up on the ship and all of a sudden it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. This is really, oh, God, 3 hours of this? I don't So I really didn't like the movie when I first saw it. Just because it was
Our sensitive little boy.
well, I don't like 3D. I understand.
I don't really like it either. We saw Wakanda in 3D, and I was
it's like I get what's near, I
man.
get what's far. Things that are close are in focus. Things that are far are fuzzy. I get it. I don't need depth in the. It's not about depth, and for me, it's not about. Ooh, look at the pretty picture. What is the story you're telling me with these pretty pictures? And seeing it again last week, because I watched it last Sunday, because I need more time to figure stuff out, is that, hey, you know what? I get why everyone likes this movie. This is not a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's not great by any means, but it's not bad. But I feel that from my first watch, when I watched it over a decade ago, and watching it now, a decade or later, and like, oh, I've learned more about storytelling and stuff like this. Just watching it, like, truly, James Cameron did not, and this is my personal opinion, which means absolutely nothing, because James Cameron truly knows what he's talking about, because people were all like, this is a bad movie when he was trying to make it, and it's like, no, then you're cut out of this thing. Trust me, I'm gonna, when I make all the money off this thing, you're gonna wish you were on my side.
Yeah.
So what do I know? Nothing. But for me, his contempt for, I don't care about the story, I'm truly here just to do cool visual tech stuff, that's all he cared about in this movie. When he didn't need to, because if he gave any more of a crap about the story, he could have made this thing, like, truly earn, in my eyes at least, the #1 spot.
Yes.
Because this is a substandard movie that does not deserve,
From a script perspective.
yes, deserve the #1 spot.
I just think, I think the structure's fine.
Oh, the structure is fine.
The dialogue is
The dialogue is bad. The story...
Giovanni Ribisi looks at the camera and says unobtainium, and we're supposed to, and like, that's when I think most people, if movie theaters had eject seats, I think that's when a lot of people would be like, nope. Like, I'm pulling the ripcord on this one. I'm out.
I mean, that's kind of like my central thesis of the whole thing. Truly, James Cameron didn't care about the story. He just wanted to make this thing that looked cool. He had this idea for Pandora, and like, great, this is great. Whatever story needs to take place there, I just want to make this world. And people really like Pandora, which is absolutely, I mean, it looks great. The eco structure, everything's really cool. The Na'vi are awesome.
Yeah.
But just like, if you cared about the story at all stories usually have MacGuffins.
Yeah.
But if you care about your MacGuffin and realize this is just a MacGuffin, but like, the name of a MacGuffin is really important. Like, the Fast and the Furious movies are all full of MacGuffins, right?
Yes.
But they actually think about, like, oh, you know what? It's like Ares or whatever that can, like, take over all of the computers and the thing, and then, like, can take out, like, they think about it for a couple of minutes. They come up with, like, a cool name for it.
It's not Shakespeare, but they at least tried.
Yes, you can tell they are trying when they're thinking about the MacGuffin to get all the characters to go do rad cool stuff in the cars. It's this cool computer program that does a thing, like, neat. Oh, if we upload to the satellites, it can blah blah.
Charlize Theron's trying to get it.
Sure, she's a tech wizard and can control all the cars, like, cool zombie cars.
When are we gonna get car wizards in the Fast and Furious? I'm a technomancer.
Sure,
I'm a car wizard.
Awesome. Those are all, they've thought about it a little bit, and they actually gave it a cool name. Unobtainium is like, oh yeah, this is clever.
And they never explain what it does. They tell us that it's very valuable, but they never really extrapolate as to, it doesn't, this world builds the Na'vi really well. It does not world build the humans very well at all.
That's the thing about, that's why I really don't like this movie. I mean, again, this right across the plate, it's a straight C. Because it's I mean, all the beats are there, the visuals are there, but just story-wise, and I feel like this wasn't, I don't know why he didn't take a second or third pass at this and, like, just answer some simple questions about the story. Because, like, at the beginning when Jake's doing his voiceover, like, hey, here's the situation. And Jake's start is a great starting point.
Yeah.
He was a Marine for somebody.
Yeah.
He got paralyzed in a battle in Venezuela. And now he's like, there's a lot of people on Earth, but we don't exactly know what the situation is, except that it's crowded. His brother dies somehow. We don't know where, but he was a part of this thing.
It's my least favorite moment in the script. it's when they're talking about his brother dies. Like, like he got shot for just the paper that was in his wallet, and I was like, that is the worst. That is the worst line in this whole thing. No one talks like that. That is a scriptwriter being like, oh, I'm being so clever. Just the paper in his wallet, man. Yeah, just that's not. No.
Yep.
This is the first 5 minutes of the movie. Can you not say that? I don't know why it pisses me off, but it does.
It irks. This movie is irksome because there's like the little things that James Cameron he's so freaking talented, and we know he's very good at this.
Yes.
He's very good at making movies. It just seems like his desire to make this movie was more based on the tech and the visuals
1000%.
than the story.
Because there's so many moments in that where when people talk the way they talk, and you go, "There's so much. This movie, so much thought went into this movie that this, like, the script being bad almost feels like a choice."
Yes. When but
it's obviously not. Like, I don't know. It's the kind of thing where I'm like, you thought, like, I truly believe James Cameron, like, ate, slept, and dreamt this movie for years.
Yep.
Like, I don't think it was like he was not a careless person when it came to this movie.
No.
But he just chose what to care about.
Yeah. And it wasn't the story.
Nope.
When just simple questions. Who is running this program on Pandora? Who are these people? Who are these people?
Yeah, is it military? Is it corporation? Is
it
clear.
a government? We have no idea. Why do we need unobtainium? Besides Giovanni Ribisi being like, I want all the money. Like, but besides that, why? Because I feel like there's probably a good reason why you need this resource.
There's
but
a
what
very
is it?
easy way to justify Giovanni Ribisi's behavior.
Yes.
This unobtainium is like the kind of thing where we're like, look, Earth is dying.
Which Jake says at the end of the movie. Oh, they can return to their dying planet. Like, wait, what? Earth's dying? When did that happen?
Yeah, and it's the kind of thing where it's like,
you didn't say that 3 hours ago.
If you get to a point where, and that actually that goes into my fix. It's the concept of, like, you know, these humans are making a choice to destroy. Like, it's if you make it that they don't want to make this choice, but they have to, it's far more compelling.
Oh, yeah.
It just seems like everyone there is just like, we can't wait to kill all these aliens. We're so excited.
Clack,
and
Jake, let's go.
That whole speech he gives, everyone's like, yeah, let's go kill all of them. Like, it's just kind of like, it bums me out.
Yeah, because the thing is, this movie is also just extremely derivative of many things that came before it.
But here's the thing, that's fine.
Oh, sure. But, like, things like, because you said, like, you started writing this after you're watching Pocahontas, or, like, Dancing with Wolves. This is decades, this is well-trodden ground. I'm not saying anything new
and
here.
Everyone was like, oh, well, it's like Pocahontas, or Dances with Wolves, or Ferngully. I'm like, no one got mad at Ferngully when it was just like Pocahontas and just like Dances with Wolves.
Sure.
No one got mad at these other movies for being like other movies.
I think here's the reason
it's just
why,
they're poorly written.
It's poorly written, but also, I think here's the main reason why. When it comes to, like, things like Pocahontas and Dances with Wolves, there is, without really having to really say it in the movie just because of general knowledge, like, you kind of understand where the strife is coming from for the stuff, because, like, we have settlers coming in from Europe, setting up America and doing things. We have our clash of civilizations that are kind of like, it was inevitable that this clash of civilizations was going to happen.
Yeah.
Even Ferngully was, for kids, and, like, had a message, like, this is great, because it's a movie for kids. Avatar, is a movie for kids, but also, like, it's a movie for the general audience, and so you kind of need to, like, have a little bit of a reason why this is happening. So you needed to have explicitly why this clash of civilizations is happening, where these other movies, have it, like, intrinsically, because, like, we know history, so, like, yeah, okay, we see the strife happening here. This was bound to happen. This on Avatar was not bound to happen. Why is there a clash of civilizations happening? Mm-hmm. Why are they so gung-ho on murdering this native tribe or tribes?
Yeah.
Because apparently there are a bunch of them that they just introduced at the end of the movie that they never mentioned once before that. Just like, why is this movie happening? Shut up, nerds, and enjoy the blue people. Yeah. But it's a couple lines of dialogue. Why are we here? Besides money, why are we here?
Yeah.
That kind of explains the whole movie, actually.
Huh.
Speaking of that, hey, Brian, how much money did this movie make? And all the other cool things that happened in the past decade about Avatar.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Also, how many sequels are coming? Because I feel like at one point there was supposed to be 9. Now there's like 6. Oh, yeah, man. When this movie hit, they're like, I have 9 movies planned. Why? But I think it's down like to 6 now because it's taking so long to get the second one out. I have no idea. But I think Brian probably has plenty of ideas.
Hey, Brian, roll that beautiful bean fun fact footage.
Thank you, gentlemen. Today we are trying to fix 2009's Avatar. Avatar is the highest grossing movie of all time, and it was written and directed by James Cameron, and it stars Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Stephen Lang, Michelle Rodriguez, as well as Sigourney Weaver. Now, this movie cost $297 million to make, and of course, it currently has $2.92 billion in grosses. That includes the re-releases. And if you care, this movie has an 82% on Rotten Tomatoes and won 3 technical Oscars at the Academy Awards. As we know, Avengers Endgame surpassed Avatar as the highest grossing movie of all time, but upon re-release, Avatar took the number 1 spot again. Adjusted for inflation, the highest grossing movie of all time is still Gone with the Wind, but on its re-release, Avatar surpassed Star Wars and Titanic to take number 2 on that spot. But also, if you adjust for the rise in ticket prices for Avatar, including IMAX and including 3D, Avatar is still only number 14 on the highest grossing movies of all time list. Cameron invented new technology for the movie, and he said that the movie is 60% computer generated, 40% live action and miniatures. Now, in terms of sequels, only Avatar 3, 4, and 5 have actual release dates. Avatar 3 is supposed to come out December 2024, Avatar 4 is supposed to come out in December 2026, and Avatar 5 is supposed to come out in December 2028. James Cameron has said that he would love to do a 6th and a 7th if there's demand for it. He also said that if Avatar 2 flops, Avatar 3 will be his last Avatar. I want to add to Adam's comment about James Cameron handling exposition. It's really interesting that James Cameron is the master of the sequel because he doesn't have to do as much exposition. The world has been established and he can really play in it. So I'm looking forward to The Way of Water. And I'll also say that Pandora at Animal Kingdom in Disney World actually gets me more excited for this movie than the actual first movie because, quite frankly, the world is amazing, but that Flight of Passage ride is incredible. And also, I would rather have a sequel 13 years later with excellent elevated technology than a subpar narrative sequel 2 years later with the same technology. Anyway, back to you, gentlemen.
Wow,
Brian.
That was a lot of information, Brian.
That was a lot.
I can't believe you totally cosplayed as a Na'vi in that. That was amazing.
Yeah, you looked incredible in your Na'vi outfit.
Even with the yellow eyes and everything.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That hair braid?
What? I'm sorry. Zoe hisses real good.
She hisses good.
She makes it look really... I was like, oh, she's scary. I like it. Rare. Big blue kitty lady.
Here's the other thing about this movie, Jay.
Okay, wow.
This movie is called Avatar.
Sure.
Which is, it's like, okay, that's the main basic sci-fi conceit of this movie. We are piloting other bodies through an avatar system that's downloaded our consciousness.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's truly nuts. It's a nannerboats. They spend like 5 minutes explaining it, and I'm like, this is like an insane thing to set up.
But it's only used so they can infiltrate and talk to this tribe when the ramifications on society and just the other things you can do with this tech is incredible. But we don't touch on any of it.
Yeah.
And by the end of the movie, we don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
So why are these movies called Avatar?
I don't know. Because they're avatars.
Not anymore. They're not.
Because it's a good name.
I guess.
Because it's a good because people like that. It's a good word.
Sure.
I think that's really what it comes down to.
I'm just saying the sci-fi hook of this movie is very interesting.
Yeah.
But it's almost jettisoned almost immediately. Like they do cool things, interesting things with it, with Jake having bouncing back and forth into the body. But like other than that, like if you think about it for a couple minutes, like there's a lot of interesting things you could do with this technology if companies and governments and others are rich enough to 3D print bodies and have other people pilot them. Like there could be the ramifications of this are staggering.
Yeah.
It's a really cool idea that just got shoehorned into this movie so that we could just do this one cool thing and then we're moving on.
Yeah.
I just because The Matrix did this 5 years ago. We saw the same basic thing from the Matrix trilogy, and the Matrix trilogy was over, 6-7 years before this movie came out. And that was awesome. And you're doing the same thing, even though apparently he was writing it in 94 or whatever, but now you're doing the same thing the Matrix did, but now you're just piloting a giant blue body and we've already seen this idea. And you don't have anything new to say with it. When you could have some amazing things to say with it, and it's James Cameron. He's very smart. He knows what he's doing, but didn't choose to do anything with this really cool idea.
Yeah.
It's frustrating. When there was plenty of room to do something rad here.
And it's... Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to go quiet. I'm just it's the kind of thing where I'm trying. I'm trying not to come back with, because here's the thing: you are presenting very, very good points, and for me, and this is something I think you and I have learned in all of the reactions that we've done, and this is this is an attitude we have when it comes to certain shows,
sure,
like the Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
There are moments where you just have to be like, just stop, it's cool. Let it be cool.
It is
just let it be cool.
It's you are right, because this is the attitude I take with this. You're right, but I don't care.
Yeah, but I don't care.
He's writing in Rancor, man.
I think that's kind of where I'm because you're saying. I
was editing as it stands right now. I'm editing the best of compilation of the year, or part of it at least. And I was going through Boba Fett yesterday, and I was like, oh yeah, the Rancor part, and then when Grogu jumps into Din's arms, these are look at us, we're crying and we're laughing, chasing, hysterically. This is all awesome. That show was not the greatest. It really wasn't. It really wasn't.
It wasn't very good.
But
it's a shame. I liked it.
Sure, but and I liked it too. But you're everyone who's got points about the movie, you are right. This of all the Star Wars shows, this one is the worst.
I'm trying not to come. I guess what I was saying was I'm trying not to come at you with yeah, but I don't care.
Exactly. I know. That's it. No, that's exactly.
But that's not productive.
You're right, but I understand. That's like the Star Wars, the sequel trilogy, right?
Yeah.
I can tell you, I can rail against it and tell you all the reasons why I vehemently hate it to the bottom of my soul. But I understand that there are a lot of people out there.
It's just Star Wars. Who cares?
Yep. I totally get it. That is how people like this movie, and they don't care, and it's absolutely right. They have every right to, because it is a decent film.
Yeah,
it's a decent film. It's just I personally find it irksome that it's the highest grossing film of all time. When I would like something that I like to be something that I feel worthy of it.
I should be. I'm the tastemaker. I should be
just something that I like. Like Endgame. That was awesome. That was so
movie.
Good.
They didn't consult me about this decision.
No, I'm not saying it that way. I'm not saying I just feel like Avatar doesn't deserve it, because it could be better, and it's not that great of a movie.
Talk to Daddy about.
I'm not saying it like that. I'm not. I just want to be on team. Yeah, I get it. It's weird. It's tribalism, but I don't know, tribalism. But I don't feel this movie deserves it.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Titanic was the number one ranking movie for a long time, because I've never even seen Titanic. Screw that movie.
Titanic's a great film.
I've heard. I don't care about it. I know what happens.
They didn't consult Daddy.
They didn't.
They didn't.
The guy bounced off the propeller.
They didn't talk to me about whether I wanted a Titanic movie. Daddy.
I don't say it like that.
I don't know. I don't know. Just having fun with you.
So this movie's fine. I get why everyone likes it. It could have very easily been better.
Yeah, this is the kind of movie, like with this next movie, I just know, like, this is a movie that, like, we're going to go to IMAX, like, the biggest one in the city in Lincoln Center. Like, I'm going to get the biggest bucket of popcorn they have. I'm going to get the biggest thing of peanut M&Ms, pour that in the popcorn.
Oh, no.
That's the best.
Sure.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I like them both, but just separately.
I might get a little thing of Junior Mints just to mix it up.
Oh, wow.
I love Junior Mints. You like Junior Mints?
I don't think I've ever had them.
Oh, they're very good. Do you like mint chocolate?
I like Thin Mints.
Oh, then you might like a Junior Mint.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
They're like tiny little peppermint patties is kind of the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And then just a big soda, and I'm just gonna take this. I want the biggest 3D glasses. I'm gonna take this movie just.
You are gonna see this 3D?
Right. Oh, you got to. Look, I know people not everybody likes 3D, but like if this is like the 3D that we know now was invented for the original movie. It feels sacrilegious not to at least see the for the first time.
Okay.
Take it right to the old dome skis.
I'm saying that James Cameron set up a world and a universe that is ripe for an extremely good story.
Yeah.
Pandora
rules, man.
There's a lot of really interesting things you could do with this, what he set up with. I just fear that he's once again just going to be like, it doesn't really matter what I do. I just need a serviceable story instead of an actual.
You never know. You might like it.
I may. Who knows? I just feel like it's probably going to be like, I'm just going to lean on the technology again. This is good enough. Is it good enough?
We'll see.
I guess we will.
We'll see. But should we fix this movie?
I think it's time to fix it. Remember we used to do that back in the day?
Yeah, I do.
A couple months ago?
I liked it.
Yeah. Well, because you usually say it.
Yeah.
I found the opening.
Fix it.
Jay's going to go first this time.
I am going to go first this time.
Jay is usually the crazy one. I don't know.
Okay.
Here we go. Jay's fix.
When I'm looking at this movie,
yes,
and what works and what doesn't,
yes,
I guess like the thesis statement for my fix and like where I'm coming from is that like Pandora and the Na'vi to me are what is interesting about this movie.
Okay,
it's all the human stuff, like just doesn't it, and it's mostly because it's just not written well.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's just all of those characters are. Just we're talking about shadow puppets over here, and they're just kinda,
tropes.
Yeah, it's not great.
Science lady, greedy guy, corporate person.
Yeah, it's really a bummer.
Military dude.
So my movie starts very similarly. Jake is arriving on Pandora.
Okay.
Through the cryosleep, and we get some of his backstory as like he's waking up through cryosleep.
So no introduction to Earth. We start on the ship.
We start on the ship the
Gotcha.
exact same time.
Okay.
But through what's going on with Jake, we get a little bit of a backstory of the war, like why he kind of like fell out of how he fell out of the military, and he was not really doing that well and kind of needed the money. And when he heard about his brother dying on Pandora, so his brother dies on Pandora.
Yep.
And we find out that his brother is a scientist.
Okay.
Who was working on Pandora and had already actively been there and been working there. And so he was like, I have no idea what my brother was up to, but he was like, at first I thought they were just telling me to come to Pandora to collect the body, and I was like, I am not doing it for this purpose. It's a year of hypersleep.
Okay.
It's not 6 years.
Sure.
We specifically established that it is a year to get to Pandora.
Okay.
Via light speed.
Well, do we even know how fast they travel?
We have no clue.
Yeah,
but I'm assuming it's light speed. If it's a year to get to Pandora, I'm assuming it's far away.
Yeah. Oh, it's very far away.
They don't explain any of that in the movie.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
So we're establishing all of this, and he's like, I thought they were just getting me to come clean the body. And I was like, I'm not doing a year in hyperspace to come get. Like, no, but like we actually have a job for you here. We can't really. It's kind of like a lot of it is top secret. We can't explain it to you here.
Yeah.
And so he gets to Pandora, and we discover in my fix, everyone on Pandora that's there, it is strictly a science exploration.
No military
settlement.
presence.
There's military
light
security.
Light
kind of
security.
thing.
Yes.
It's more of like ops rather than
Sure. Like an actual unit with mechs and stuff ready to
No.
go.
No.
Getting yudged
It's just-
at light gravity.
Like they work for the museum. Like they're like, you know what I'm saying? Like these guys are like, you know, they're military,
Sure.
diet military.
Sure.
You know, like the RC Cola version.
Okay.
Like they may have gotten liberal arts degrees, kind of, you know.
Hey.
But they get to he gets to Pandora and he gets indoctrinated into this whole little like what's the word I'm looking for? Like I guess like scientists, explorers colony.
Sure.
Like they're just trying to see what Pandora is about. We discovered this planet that like could technically harbor life, and so we're just here to document.
Could harbor life.
Maybe, but then we find out that as we figure out, as it's explained to him, like the reason that you're here is as he's like signing all these NDAs.
Sure, of course.
They're like, we have been working on an experimental technology. At first, when we got here, we realized very quickly that we couldn't breathe the air. As you can see from everyone with like the rebreathers and stuff like that. So we started working on, we had a lot of geneticists and things like that to document stuff. And we figured that we maybe could alter our own genetic code in order to maybe breathe the air here. And they're like, that didn't work. And then we kind of get like a rundown, almost like a Mr. DNA sequence from Sigourney Weaver being like, here's how we got here. And they explain that like, and eventually like we figured that if we mixed our own DNA with the DNA of the tribe here, that we could explore. We had a unique opportunity to both, breathe the air and be out in Pandora in a way that we could be uninhibited by all of the,
us not breathing.
Yes. But also we could see the planet like through their eyes.
Sure.
And so we've developed this avatar program in order for like, we've indoctrinated people into and like built avatars for them. And it's very hush hush. This is not technically legal technology on Earth.
Okay.
And through the conversations that we're having with Sigourney Weaver and all of this leading up to, we're realizing what the problem on Earth is. And the reason, like one of the biggest issues with Earth and why he was kind of happy to leave Earth was that there's a power shortage on Earth.
Yep.
They're having a really hard time. They're like, we built this like amazing society and then like we kind of just ran out of ways to power it. And so like that's kind of the struggle on Earth right now.
That's a good reason to leave.
And we find out that because and it's one of I think the more interesting things about Avatar is that like, oh, your twin brother, we built this avatar for your twin brother, but you're genetically identical to him, so you can pilot it. I thought that was great. That is a great way of having like an audience surrogate, but also have one ready for him.
Yes.
So it's like, but in this circumstance, like what happened to my brother, it's like, oh, like he just got sick. Like we'd love to have a better explanation than that, but like he just like, oh, something from Pandora. It's like, no, he got the flu and died. Like they're like, oh,
space flu.
Yes, no, like not space flu. Like no, unfortunately he just passed away. It's like, oh, that's very sad. Like cool. Well, I'm here to get my brother. They're like, well, we have an opportunity for you since you like this is your twin brother. Like your brother has already has an avatar with us and has been out in the field and working with us. We would like to offer you the ability to kind of join the team. We realize that you're not a scientist and that you're a soldier, but like we could use the help in the field for security and purposes like that, because a lot of the security guys,
they're all those RC Cola out here. You're like you're like at least a Pepsi. A future Pepsi.
And he's like, okay. And so I think that like at this point in this movie, Grace and all the other scientists have already kind of like actually indoctrinated themselves to a lot of the natives.
Sure.
On like there is a peaceful
coexistence. Going on.
Coexistence. They know that they're just here to study them, and we're just here to like learn about your planet and and learn about your ways. And so there's been like some peaceful exchanging of gifts. Like there's been a lot of, it's like we have permission to like study the plants and study them. They're a little bit cagey about us being involved in a lot of like what goes on in Home Tree.
Sure.
But as far as like studying the planet, like we kind of have a little bit of carte blanche. Like there are some forbidden places we're not allowed to go to, but you know, they kind of get the lay of the land, and Grace kind of explains the Na'vi and like what they are and what this planet is like. And so we move into them going on the expedition that they go out on,
Right.
with Grace
to the
and
school,
Ned.
right? In the movie, this is the part where they go to that school.
Oh yes, I mean the sequence of him having legs again and him running is very good.
Oh, it's extremely good.
It's awesome.
Yes.
Like we still keep that. Like
course.
he gets indoctrinated into like learning how to use the Avatar, and then eventually goes out with Grace and Ned to like study the plants. And we get a little bit more. Grace, I think, has had more time with the plants, and she was like showing Ned and Jake. What?
Jake
It's like his
Sully.
name, Jake Sully. And she's showing them like this planet has an interconnected, like everything has an electromagnetic signature. Like everything in this planet is connected. She was like, there are more connections there are more like electrical connections firing off between this tree and this tree than there are in like all of like the United States brainwaves. Like
Sure.
it's what's happening on this planet is incredibly unique, and it's incredibly interesting. And considering what's going on with Earth, like we can learn so much about like the intricacies of electronic systems that like we could probably bring this back to Earth and maybe like really help people. And so we get a little bit more explanation, and they're walking through the forest, and they see maybe some of the natives and things like that, and like there's respectful bows, but the Na'vi are also like acknowledging Jake, but he's not who is in Jake is not usually in there,
Right. It's his brother. Do we know his brother's name?
I don't think they ever give him a name. I don't think they do.
Hello, gentlemen. They do say his name in the movie. It's Tommy Sully, and if you were wondering, Tom in Aramaic translates to twin. Back to you, gentlemen.
It's little things like
little
that.
things.
It's little things like that. I agree. I agree with you. It's an opera. Just listen to him sing.
Jake's brother is a good enough title in the credits. Shut up.
I want to take this moment to, while I really struggled with figuring out my fix for this, my fix for a hot second was going to be, I will just figure out where all the songs go, as this is an opera. But then I realized I was like, I'm going to have to sing some of them, and I don't have time to write the songs.
Yes, you will.
But there will be a musical fix at some point. We'll get there.
Hey. Oh. And a very special fix it.
So I think a very similar thing happens. They get attacked by that jaguar thing.
Yes.
But before that, with like the rhinos, I think we learn from Grace that like these are also kind of connected. She's like, I haven't quite figured out how the animals interact with this electromagnetic thing.
Right.
But it's a very similar. They have a similar system. Jaguar attacks. It chases Jake off. But instead of the this in this circumstance, Jake is chased by this jaguar all the way to our sacred tree.
Oh, the mother tree.
The mother tree.
From the end of the movie.
Yes.
Gotcha. The willow thing.
The actual sacred tree.
Yes, okay.
He is chased into that grove. He is chased all the way there.
Oh, okay.
He eventually like escapes the creature and like kills the creature, and that's when he he is when he gets there, our Zoe avatar, what's the character's name again? Natiri is there because she is learning how to be the spiritual leader because it is her mother,
right?
And so she's in charge of protecting the grove. And so when she sees him bust into the grove with the jaguar chasing him, like she helps Jake kind of fight off the jaguar. But then when Jake kills the jaguar, we get a similar situation where she was just like, this didn't have to die. Like there's
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
But also she calls him a different name. Let's just call him Eric.
Sure.
Eric.
Eric Sully.
And she's
Eric Sully.
She's like, yeah, like Eric Sully. Like, why are you here? You know, you're not supposed to be here. Like, this is one of the forbidden places. Like, if my mother finds out that you're here, like the peace of your people and my people will deteriorate. But and she's almost ready to kill him.
Right.
But as he's like kind of like stammering and backing up, and he's realizing like, oh, like you have a relationship with my brother, but I'm not I'm
Jake.
And he's
Sully.
like, I'm different. I'm not Eric.
How do I explain
and
that there's a
as
different
he's, like,
consciousness in
moving
his
back,
body? Yeah.
We get a similar situation of the seeds approaching him.
Oh, okay. All right.
And as the seeds leave, like she says, like, I see you. And he's like, I'm not who you think I am. I'm different. And then her face drops when he says that. And he's like, I'm not Eric Sully. Like, I'm Jake. And her face drops, and she's like, we have to, oh crap. She takes him back to a home tree.
Sure.
The scientists figure out that that's where they're going. And so they kind of like meet up, and they're allowed audience in home tree. And we find out that basically like the Na'vi have this like ancient story of like the home tree, like, you know, changing the chosen one into a warrior to kind of like lead them to
Oh, okay.
and it gets to a point where they're like, you're just like Eric, you're just a scientist. And he's like, I'm not Eric, I'm Jake, and I'm a Marine, and of the tribe of the warrior tribe Jarhead, which I think is really funny.
Yeah, there's some very good dialogue.
And they realize they're like, maybe he was transformed by the world tree. Like maybe this is the war. Like, you know.
They think
the world tree changes. Like changes the being. And I'm realizing I've left out a very important part. Flashback to the world tree. When we see like all the seeds leave, Jake notices that like the world tree is basically situated on like a good amount of, I guess, like rock work.
Yeah, there's like
root work.
little step. Yeah.
There's like that little step underneath it, and like whenever anything happens in the grove, like the stone reacts, and he catches that all like on his like avatar camera, because I know they're like hooked in or whatever.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
And so he just like Jake is taken in to study to be a warrior, and we learn, and we keep majority of that, all of that sequence of him,
The training montage.
But when he goes back, Grace like looks at his footage and things like that, and she realizes that whatever's under the world tree is some kind of battery that is storing like a staggering amount of energy.
Oh.
And that's what's powering like a good. She was like, there's all this electricity like coursing through this planet.
Yeah.
Like I knew it had to be stored somewhere.
Right.
Like, I think this world tree, like, or the sacred tree is some kind of battery and things like that. And like, as she's, you know, she's working on all of these theories and stuff like that. And it eventually comes to light. She was like, I don't know if I'm going to report this information back. And Jake's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, this could revolutionize like stuff on Earth. And she was like, yeah, but like we would be putting, like, they're not going to let us study this tree. They're not going to let us stuff the wall.
The moral quandary comes to the fore of what do we do with this information? Got it. Yeah.
Yes. And eventually, like, it comes to pass. Jake is like, this is the kind of thing that could like save humanity, and like I want to go. I want to go back to Earth eventually. Like, and if we could like save Earth from this planet, like, why wouldn't we do that?
Yeah.
And so, as he's working with the Na'vi, one night, like, he sends the data back to like. Back to Earth. Like,
okay.
He sneaks the data there.
Okay. Wow.
But all the while, this is earlier on, but like all the while, like he is learning to like love this culture,
Sure,
and like working his way into it, and that's where we also get the final, like the kind of the culmination, the Banshee sequence, and then we find the Tormuk,
the big red dragon guy,
the big red Pokemon,
Yes.
big red dragon Pokemon, We find that story, and Jake is accepted into the tribe, but we find out on that same day that like they get communique back from a home base of being like the government being like, hey, this could be a gigantic game changer.
We're on our way.
We are on our way.
Yeah.
And so they know they have a year.
Oh my God! Did you just introduce a ticking clock, Jay?
Yes.
A ticking clock. That'd be fantastic for a movie like this. Oh my God!
And so the venture is basically Jake and all the science. Like Jake has a reckoning with the scientists because they figure out that he sent it back, and then he realizes like how wrong he is. And he's like, "We can fix this." And she was like, "They are not. They are gonna come and just take this." And she was like, "You wanted it to fix Earth. It probably will fix Earth, but it's going to destroy this place.
It's going to cost us this. Yeah,
it's going to cost Pandora everything. Like this alien culture has a fresh start. Like, and you're just going to take that from them. Like, I hope you're happy." And so Jake basically has to prove himself to the scientists once again.
Yep.
But he also has to prove himself he has to organize the Na'vi in a way that like he has to convince them like, I know there's a force coming. And he's like, I can feel it. Like, I'm the chosen one. Like, I know this force is coming, and we're gonna have to fight them. And
he fudges the truth.
Eventually, it gets to a point where, they figure out, they learn from Grace that like he's the reason that they're coming in the first place.
Yeah.
They throw him out.
Yep.
And then I think it's really fun that like he gets the bird that no one wants.
Yeah.
Or that no one can get, and then they all follow him.
Mm-hmm.
And then the humans come. The Na'vi fight him off, and Jake realizes that like he doesn't necessarily want to go back to Earth, and he wants to stay here. But I just like the human stuff is the weakest part of the movie, so let's just get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
Is the moral of the story? It's like we'll get that cool fight, but we'll
get the third act.
All this nonsense, and we can just spend all this time with Na'vi. We can expand Grace more.
Sure.
We can expand Ned more.
Yeah. And
then we fight off the humans. And then Jake and all of them just straight up join the Na'vi. They scramble all the data so Earth doesn't know how to get back to Pandora. Like They're just like, we live here now.
Oh,
that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's over. It's really simple, but like it's just the one thing about it is like I just don't care. Like the general character sucks.
He does. He sucks on a rope. Yeah.
A
couple of ropes that were braided together to form one larger rope. That he sucks.
Yeah.
So you got rid of the weakest link.
Yes.
Interesting.
I
enhanced it.
You're improving it.
I'm improving the weakest link.
That makes sense. I think that makes sense.
So this is what this movie had so many questions of like, why didn't you just answer these simple questions? These are the questions I felt that were left unanswered in the movie. This is what I set out to answer. What are the stakes for the humans? Like, and why do we need the MacGuffin? Like, why are we on Pandora, and why do we need the unobtainium, right? Why don't we expand what's going on with the Avatar system? Because it's really clever. Why do we just use it this one way? I think one of the most, I guess this is the other thing. I didn't speak of it earlier. In this movie, humans are just bad. We're just the bad guys. I mean, Jake and Grace and stuff aren't, but the scientists aren't. But like everybody else is, Michelle Rodriguez. Everyone else is an a-hole. We're just evil and mean, and we're just gonna take everything. I feel like we deserve not being just the bad guys.
I agree.
And that's not fair to humans. There's a lot, not just, so we'll figure out some different things. Who's on the planet mining this stuff? Who's in charge? What is it? Like a corporation? Is it the government? Like who are these people?
Yeah.
I think the Na'vi needed a little bit more to do than just like, they're the natives of the planet. What? But besides Nateri, what's going on? Anything? No, we're just here. Great. I feel like we didn't talk about this earlier. The hair tentacle thing is an interesting idea that was not completely thought out. And I don't want to be like, oh, because they do it with Na'vi and animals. It's not that. It's just like, I feel like it's questionable. Doing it that way makes it questionable to the audience. And like, wait a second, because if they think about it in a certain way, it's like, wait a second, what? Let's just get rid of that. Keep the same idea in a different way, because as I know they were trying to come up with something interesting, but like we can do the same thing but slightly better. And just and build towards a sequel, and actually build towards a sequel.
Sure.
Where this one just kind of didn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Okay, so with those ideas in mind, with those questions not being answered in the script itself,
sure.
I didn't even realize that Jake's brother never got a name. So I'm going to keep with Eric.
Maybe he did. It was not
maybe
clear.
it was one line. So
Yeah.
so we're going to keep it with Eric Sully. All right, good job. Okay, so here's the fix. It starts exactly the same. Jake's voiceover. We see the Earth. We see it crowded. We see him in a wheelchair. He was a Marine. He fought in a war in Venezuela. He became paralyzed. Earth's clearly crowded, but we're going to get a little bit more information about what's going on here. There are 15 billion people on Earth.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Humanity has started to move towards the stars. We've colonized Mars. We've colonized the moon. Resources on Earth are getting pretty scarce. But since we've colonized Mars and the moon, we're also mining asteroids. We're really kind of getting out towards Titan. We're
Yeah.
we're
It's
right
not
now.
so bad.
It's not so bad. It's just humanity is getting really crowded on Earth, and right now it's still like the wealthy who are finding ways off to be on Mars, to be on the moon,
Yeah.
to be on other satellites and stuff like that. We are becoming a space-faring civilization, but we are still in the infancy of that. We still have a lot of growing pains.
Sure.
We're just starting to mine and kind of get stuff in from the outer rim, or from the outer rim, the outer gaseous giants and stuff. So like, we've found Pandora, and this is a resource-rich area. I'm going to keep Eric died on Pandora.
Okay.
He
Yeah.
didn't die over just money here. He was a part of the team. He died on Pandora.
It's just better that way.
Yes, it is. It's a lot easier that way. So Jake gets approached, but after he fight that guy in the bar, after that guy hit that woman, and
Yeah.
we see Jake actually be able to fight in the wheelchair and do some cool stuff.
Yeah.
He gets approached by a
Show that
couple.
he's competent even.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is something that never came back.
Never. Yeah.
You set up that he could fight. Like you set up, Jake's setup was fantastic. He's a Marine who's still got fight in him. He's trying to find a fight he can fight. He's still got. He wants to do something.
Yeah.
and
he wants to be a part of something.
and
He wants
just
to.
can't. Which is great. Jake's setup was so good, and they didn't really do anything with it. So same basic stuff. He gets tossed out of the bar. He gets approached by a couple of guys. Oh, your brother died on this mission to Pandora.
Mm-hmm.
So who are these guys that go to Jake and pick him up and like, hey, we want you to go to Pandora? They work for the Alliance, which is an overall government on Earth, one of the governments of Earth.
Sure.
It's basically, I'm just gonna make it easier, all the Western powers right now kind of got together.
Sure.
So like the EU,
Who's the Horde then?
Oh,
We have
yeah.
the Alliance.
Russia and China. I don't know, because we get so all the Western democracies basically: Japan, Australia, U.S., Canada.
gotcha.
Yeah, the Alliance.
NATO.
Yeah, it's basically just enlarged NATO, which is exactly was like oh yeah, or North Atlantic or whatever. Alliance. Hey, we're on Pandora. We're trying to do this thing. Jake was a part of it. He died there, but genetically, blah blah blah. The same premise. Get to Pandora. He's like, great. I'd love to go to Pandora. Whee! So he gets there. All the same stuff happens. He meets Grace. She's like, but he's a Marine. His brother was a scientist. Blah 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 blah. It sucks that he's dead, but like this is the best way to go about things. Strife all over the place. And then Grace talks to Giovanni Ribisi. And this time, instead of
Giovanni Ribisi?
yes,
You said never mind.
what did I say it wrong?
He said like Giovanni Ribisi or something.
Okay, I'm gonna try it again. Giovanni Ribisi.
It is a really hard name to say.
It's a harder name to write too until you look it up and copy and paste it. Okay, Giovanni Ribisi. Grace talks to him. Because did he ever get a name? I mean, sure he did, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
Bro, that's not this movie's strong suit in any way.
So Grace is talking to Giovanni Ribisi. Nailed it. And this time, instead of him just being straight effing evil and greedy,
Yeah.
he's like, Grace, we need him to be a part of this because Earth's in trouble. Like, we need this. It's not unobtainium. We're going to think it's the same MacGuffin, but this time we're going to give it a name. We're going to call it Crunchium. Because why not? It's a name, and using if we get this resource, we can crunch space-time because this will allow us to travel here
Faster.
Not in 6 years. We're talking a matter of months.
Oh, okay.
If we get Crunchium and send it back to Earth, we can actually
We can speed up our trade routes by like
yes, we can get humanity further out into the stars and
we can
become
get
a
more of-
galactic civilization.
Yes.
This will get us through this awkward growing phase of getting places and getting humanity off Earth and finding the resource. This would allow us to finally reach our potential and really live among the stars.
Just a sentence. This is the thing that will help us finally achieve our own potential. Is like, yeah, that's the level of importance. But that's also something as an audience member, you can be like, I mean, that's kind of. I understand why they want that so bad.
Yes.
Like I understand. You kind of need to be able to like kind of understand that
why we're here.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing.
And why the stakes are so high, and like
Yes.
why we would maybe go kill a whole bunch of Na'vi to get it.
Yes. Also, did you just say stakes?
I may have, yeah.
Okay. Just checking. All right, don't what? So, here's the other thing. Giovanni Ribisi is not evil.
No.
He's the guy who's in charge from the Alliance. He's running this thing. Granted, there is a military contingency there to run security. It's Stephen Lang, who is a little bit more subtle in his approach, even though he's pretty subtle in the movie. But it's like, hey, you're a Marine, blah, 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 help me out. Give me more information about stuff, because like we need to know what the heck's going on here. Great. Also, the Alliance is not the only human group on the planet.
Oh.
The Alliance is a government-run group. There's also a corporation, the Ryloth Corporation, is also on Pandora.
Interesting.
Also trying to go for this Crunchium. Because when they scouted and they found this planet 25 years ago, the Alliance is like, yeah, we're going to take claim of it. But also the Ryloth Corporation, who is a corporation set up on Mars, and they have spent trillions of dollars to set up their own mining facility here on Pandora. All of the evil, greedy stuff that Giovanni Ribisi said in the original version of the movie is the Ryloth Corporation. They're going to be the corporate a-holes who don't give an F about the native people. They just want the goddamn resources to make a butt ton of money.
Yes.
Because it's, 20 million for a gram, whatever he said in the movie? So they are the bad guys.
Yes.
The Ryloth Corporation are the bad guys. The Alliance are trying to go about this the right way.
Yes.
They are going
That's
to
why
be...
they have the avatars, so they can go...
Yes. They're going to be our federation. They're trying... Humanity is making steps towards of trying to be that Starfleet, that federation, that utopia that is we are capable of. But we're not past scarcity yet, and we need... So some of us are good, some of us are bad. The bad guys happen to be from Mars. So the Ryloth Corporation, Ryloth Corporation, they're also there, and they're just a bunch of a-holes. But Giovanni Ribisi has a meeting with one of the heads of the Ryloth Corporation. They have it monthly to make sure they don't have one of those incidents ever again. Grace is not very happy about this meeting, but Grace goes back to Jake. They do the Avatar stuff. The whole same sequence of oh my God, I'm running. This is amazing. Let's go. They go to the school, and Grace is like, why did you abandon the school? What happened? Grace was kind of cagey about it. But in this version of the things, the Marines of Stephen Lang's Marines and stuff didn't shoot up the school. The Ryloth Corporation goons shot up the school and killed Natiri's sister.
Okay.
Because they're just kind of going about things. Here's the other thing. Since the Alliance is a government, they got some pretty cool high-tech stuff there. But since Ryloth is a corporation and spent trillions of dollars and they've
got better toys.
Exactly. Which sucks. But they have better toys. So they're the ones that murdered Natiri's sister and shot up the school and caused the Na'vi to be like, you know what? Nope. We're gonna back off.
Yeah.
We're done. So the same thing happens. Jaguar shows up. Jake gets chased off. He's found by Natiri.
Yeah, I think we've learned anything, that little section, I was like, that's ironclad.
Oh yeah, it's very good. It's very, because again, that's the thing. There is a lot of really good things in this movie, but they're just balanced out with a lot of really bad things in this movie. That
Pandora is so well thought out. I can't even stand
need to be bad.
Yeah.
So here's a big change. The same thing with Jake happens where, he's fighting off the things or whatever, and then Terry shows up to stop him from killing everything and to put the fire out and stuff like that. But when, in the movie, Terry is going to shoot and that little seed floats through the thing, and then she stops herself, right?
Yes.
And then in like a minute later, all the seeds land on Jake.
Yeah.
That does not happen this time.
Oh.
The seed flies in front of her, and she withdraws her bow, and then she goes and talks to him, and he's like, and then the whole like, what was I supposed to do? Not kill these people? I was about to die. He's like, no, we're all together. This didn't need to happen. She's about to kill him again, and instead of all the seeds just landing on Jake, being chosen by the tree like a link, another little seed just floats in front of Neytiri. That's it. Just another seed floats in front of her to stop her.
Huh.
Because at that point in the movie, it's like, okay, we get it. Yeah, he's clearly chosen. We got it.
Yeah.
Why? We're an hour into the movie. And like, I don't know what's happening.
It never answers that why, by the way.
No, it doesn't.
It never.
But like, we don't know what's happening, but we get why it's we get what's happening. But like, why you didn't? You could have held that card back a lot. Like you could the mystery of like what the hell is that seed and why did she not do the thing she wanted to do when that thing popped up? Huh. So just one more seed pops by and she does not kill him.
Interesting. Okay.
So then Jake goes. Basically, a lot of the same stuff happens here. Jake goes back to the tree. Okay, now I'm kind of be a part of the tribe now a little bit and figure out what's going on. And Stephen Lang's like, give me information. Blah 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 blah. Here's the difference now, because we're in the training montage part. The Ryloth Corporation at that meeting with Giovanni Ribisi said that we are on our way to the home tree.
Yeah.
Not the world tree, the home tree.
Yes.
And because they set up a situation where they have to tell each other where they're going. They didn't say what they're going for. They're just headed there. They know they have 3 months to get there through the jungle. Ticking clock situation. That was in the same ticking clock that was in the movie, but this time in the montage, we're actually going to see the bulldozers moving through the forest.
Yeah.
Because they're going to show up in 3 months, and it's just Jake training, and all of a sudden, bulldozers show up. I was like, no. We need to see bulldozers moving during this montage. And then Navi...
Closer and closer.
Yes.
And closer.
And then Navi, kind of peppering them a little bit, and seeing the strife of civilizations happening in this montage.
Yep.
Here's the other thing that's different. The second in command guy who's Neytiri's supposed to marry, who's going to be the chief.
Uh-huh.
I know it's they kind of went against trope in the movie of him being like bad guy. Because usually in a situation like that, like he's like, I want power, so I'm going to do something wrong. When Jake gets to the home tree and is talking with Neytiri and talking to like everyone there, people from the Ryloth Corporation just show up in gas masks or whatever so they can breathe. They're not in avatars, they're just showing up and saying, hey, we owned this place. And they're like, no, you don't. Like, no, we actually do. We bought the rights to this place a long time ago. I was like, we don't recognize any of these. You're not even of this planet. It's like, no, it doesn't matter. All of Giovanni Ribisi's language that he used in the first movie, this woman is saying, I'm just like, no, we own all of this land. This is all ours. You guys that need to leave.
Yeah, like we've set up other places for you guys to go.
Yeah,
like we're not
trying to be super evil, but like you need to get off our land. We've bought this stuff.
Yeah,
and they're like, no, this is our sacred. Like, no, you don't. This is not how this works.
Yeah,
we've spent trillions of dollars for this.
Because I like them when you're trying to be kind of nice. It's like, hey, there's a tree just like this, like 7 clicks down the river. Like if you guys could just move there,
Absolutely.
that would be excellent. Like we'll help facilitate that for you. They're like, no.
And there's a lot of there's a slightly veiled threat. It's not very
slightly
veiled. But she doesn't come out and say like we're going to effing murder all of you. It's it's language a little softer, a little coded. Yes.
I like
but
it.
like people are picking up like But here's the thing: the second in command, the guy who is going to take over, seems like, hey, clearly they want to kill all of us. Maybe we should. Like, I don't want any of my tribe to die.
Yeah.
What's the harm in
leaving?
So it's a little tropey that the second in command is a little like, maybe we should follow.
No, I think that's great.
But like,
I like that a lot.
But using this trope of like showing the audience why going along with a bad guy is ultimately going to be like a bad idea.
Yes.
Is needed in a story like this. So, training montage. The same basic stuff happens, but here's the thing. There's no hair braids in this. They can have long hair, but there's no hair tentacles.
You're so mad about the hair
I'm
tentacles.
not mad. It's an interesting idea. I don't think he thought it out very well. So basically what's going on in the movie is like it seems like everyone on the planet or in the biosphere can like telepathically communicate with each other.
Do their little things.
Yes. So we're just going to get rid of the little things and just kind of do it as a tactile telepathy, kind of like Vulcans. Remember, like my mind to your mind.
Yes. And that actually tracks because it's like
same basic thing.
Oh, I forgot one part of my fix.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned how like we're not sure how the animals are attracted. Part of how they fight off the big guys is that Ned is at the World Tree, just like controlling all of the animals. Like
that's cool.
Yeah, I forgot that part. Sorry, it's not pertinent, but I was just
but
like,
that's
oh
cool.
yeah, I forgot about how like Ned's like it's like a video game. It's like, oh, here come the rhinos.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I mean, it's better than what happened. So it's tactile telepathy. So
Yes.
basically, when Navi or what other creatures touching the planet and stuff like that, they can communicate with each other if they so choose. But it's just an ability that the life on this planet has.
Sure.
The problem is, since Jake's in an avatar, they don't have that ability.
Oh.
He can't just jack into the horse or the banshee or whatever.
He's already jacked in.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Also, he's just not one with the planet yet. He's just a human and piloting this body. He's not one with the planet.
That's cool.
So he's doing all. He can shoot a bow and arrow. He's like good at all like the military stuff. Running around the physical stuff. But when it comes to like actually like being a part of the tribe and being part of the world and like communicating with other life on the planet, he sucks at it.
Yeah, he can't do it.
So they go up to they climb the floating mountains or whatever. And they go try to find a banshee. He does not succeed.
Oh.
He almost dies.
Interesting.
And Natiri catches him on her banshee. And they have the flying sequence on that. But like Jake fails
Interesting.
hard. He is not a part of the tribe.
That's fascinating.
because
I like
he's not one with the planet. Why would he be?
Yeah. There needs to be some otherdom to him.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's not a part of the tribe. So, but meanwhile, while the montage is happening, like he is giving information to Giovanni Ribisi
Giovanni Ribisi.
and Grace and Stephen Lang.
And Sigourney Weaver.
Yes.
Giovanni Ribisi and Sigourney Weaver.
Steve and Lang.
Steve and Lang.
So all the same stuff happens, and the series, is kind of like Jake's not a part of the group, but and we see the bulldozers are moving closer, and of course Natiri and Jake get together, but not with the hair stuff. They actually physically do a thing.
Such a prude.
They won't see it.
What a
but
prude.
They physically.
Oh, I don't like the hair.
I didn't say I don't like the hair thing.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
was not a well thought out idea.
Yeah, you're prude.
That's all I'm saying. No, they can get it on, like Donkey Kong. I don't know, whatever. Like Natiri, like the actual Navi do. Physically, they did it on physically, not just thing. And like I think Jake can get a sense of because she can touch him and like get a sense of it.
Yeah.
But since he's not one with
He's
the
not
world yet,
technically
he's
there.
not. Is that the Demolition Man thing of like putting on the little things? Of, what was that? Like this is sex. Like, but we didn't touch each other. Yeah, no, it's just gross. So we put a little helmets on. So it's a little something like that. Jake's like, that's not okay. There's more to it than that. I think. Right?
Yeah.
I hope. Yes, there is. Great. They get together. But people aren't entirely happy about that. Jake's not a part of the tribe.
Yeah, he
The
didn't succeed.
The second in command guy who's going to be in charge and was supposed to marry Natiri is like not entirely thrilled by that at all
No.
because Jake not a part of the tribe and like you are from the Sky Clan. What? Everything seems to be going wrong for us now. Something needs to happen. So Natiri and Jake are out trying to figure out like how do we solve this problem? How do we save the Sky Clan, your people? How do we stop Ryloth? How do we get a way out of the situation? And then while they're walking in Pandora, and everything's beautiful and amazing, and they come across a survey team from the Alliance survey team, and they say, "Hey, Jake, hey, Natiri." They're like, "Hello," and then all of a sudden, an arrow comes out of nowhere and kills one of the scientists. They are attacked by Navi, and Jake and Natiri are wounded, and the survey team is dead.
Oh no.
They were attacked by the second in command.
Oh, okay.
Jake-
I thought you were about to say bad avatars, and I got real.
No. So Jake goes back, wakes up back in the thing, tells everybody what's going on. A survey team was just killed, and we were wounded, and Natiri's being tended to right now. What the heck just happened? We were just attacked. They can't find Giovanni Ribisi, and Stephen Lang's there, and it's like, we were just attacked? Oh, it's time to attack the World Tree. All the information you've been giving me, time to
Gotcha.
attack. So Stephen Lang, because no one can find Giovanni Ribisi, orders the attack. He's not on the ship this time. He's at home base
Okay. ordering
this attack. The military contingency there is like not entirely thrilled by that choice.
Yeah.
Like the whole military is not just Michelle Rodriguez. Everybody is like, wait, seriously? But like, okay, we were just okay. They go along with it. Of course, the scientists are like, no, we can't. And they try to do the same thing of stop the thing, and they jack back in like, no. Everybody try to stop the fight, but it doesn't happen, and they blow up the world tree or the home tree. But when they get when Grace and Jake get pulled out of the avatars, I forgot one important part of the whole thing.
That's okay.
You know the guy at the end of the movie who stays behind when they take the little container ship off the way, and he's like, "You need to stay behind and give us information."
His name was like Mark or something.
The scientist guy. Yeah. When Jake shows up to the planet, he pulls Jake aside and says, "I think there was something suspicious about your brother's death."
Oh.
And so he starts to try to, on the sly, figure out what the heck happened to Eric Sully.
Gotcha.
When they get pulled out of the rigs while the military is blowing up the home tree, that's when Mark breaks them out of jail and says, "Jake, I figured out who killed your brother.
Oh, cool.
It was Stephen Lang."
Oh.
So they break out, and since there's not a ton of people left at the base because the military is blowing up the world tree, our scientists go and attack Stephen Lang. And in doing so, they discover that Stephen Lang
works for Ryloft.
Is an avatar.
What? No. What? Okay.
He's an avatar that works for the Ryloth Corporation. We live in a world where people with enough money can 3D print bodies. The Ryloth Corporation 3D printed Stephen Lang
and replaced
him with an avatar that works for Ryloth. And that's why Eric was killed. Eric figured it out.
That's crazy.
But also in the realm of possibilities, in a world where avatars exist, it's corporate espionage.
No, I know. That's nuts. That's awesome. Okay, cool.
So, Stephen Lang killed my brother. That's why I'm here. Oh, we shouldn't have done the thing. Oh, this was all a setup. The whole thing was a setup. They order the military back. Giovanni Ribisi comes out of because he was tied up in a closet somewhere.
Yeah.
They order everybody back. Okay. Oh God, we were all played. Oh no. Meanwhile, the bulldozers now we're like, so yeah, we're just gonna come on in and start taking stuff. The Na'vi don't want to hear it, even though Jake and Grace are like, hey. We were victims too. This was a whole bag of Ryloth. We did not want to do this. And the guy, the second in command, is like, I honestly thought my tribe was about to be killed. I figured that the death of these few Sky Clan was a small price to pay for keeping all of us safe. He realizes his mistake. He should not have done that. He was also played. Because of course he's gonna get played by these people. Corporations are evil. So okay, we need to figure out everyone's gonna head to the world tree. But this time, when Grace heads back with Jake, there's no Grace getting shot. Grace doesn't die. They go back to the world tree, and this is when Grace sees the world tree for the first time and trying to explain, hey, okay, here's the situation. We're going to help you guys. Because clearly the Ryloth Corporation has attacked a government facility.
Yeah.
This is on. They're coming to kill you. We now know what their plan is extermination because they want the Crunchium. So we're not going to allow that to happen. We are very sorry for what we did. Part of the things we're going to try to make it up to you is we want to protect you. They don't want to hear it. They don't want any of this. But when Grace sees the world tree and wait a second, what? You guys are tactile telepathy talking about it and figuring, and talking to the tree oh, this is when Grace figures out you guys are talking to the entire biosphere. Oh, the information uploaded and oh my God, this is the true resource of the planet.
Yes.
The fact that you guys can pull this off. Holy crap. I mean, the Crunchium is just part of the system. That kind of thing, it helps it.
Yeah.
But, the fact that you guys could just, upload and download information, over the whole planet, this quick, just to figure, she's great. She's figuring this stuff out. And just talking to people, this is incredible.
That's nuts.
Nuts. Jake, realizing that he needs somehow to get these people to be on their side again, climbs back up the floating mountains, goes back to the Banshees, and finds the big Charizard, the big red dragon.
Charizard.
Finds
Charizard.
And he tames Charizard. And this time we see it. Because Jake at this
Yeah, they really did cut away from that. It really
he
bummed.
just falls, cut to black. I'm on the big dragon. But since he failed last time, now we get to see him succeed because he really needs to. Because now, in his moment of need, truly realizing that he wants to be a part of this planet that is under attack.
Yep.
He becomes one with the planet, unlocks the ability with the
Ba, 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 ba.
the tactile telekinetics, empathy or whatever. What do you say? Telepathy. Gets Charizard, flies back to the World Tree. Everyone's like, "What? Jake figured it out. Jake is actually one of us now."
Yes.
Now Jake joins the tribe.
Awesome.
Now they listen to him. Now they go find the other clans.
I can dig it. Yeah.
And Jake, does the same thing with the home tree. You're in trouble. I'm so sorry for my part in all of this, but everything's in trouble and we really need your help. And Natiri's right there helping him out. Like, it's not just a single thing. They're both there praying to the thing. They're, because they're already together. And Natiri's not so much evil, like, no, they were always kind of on the same side this time. And so now it's the same basic fight of Act 3, but this time, it's fought smarter. Not just running straight for them.
And they have other humans on their
side. And they
side.
have other humans, they have Alliance humans side by side in their cool mechs. We got mechs on mechs on mechs. We got all this cool stuff happening. And it's humans versus humans. We've got good humans versus the bad humans. And it's really cool. But the same, also, if they're burning bulldozers in the thing, why didn't they bring any fire or exploding or burning things to the final fight?
No idea.
So,
well, he had grenades. He threw them into the engines.
No, but the Na'vi in the montage, they were standing in front of burning bulldozers.
Oh.
They were able to take out bulldozers.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to say that the Na'vi are a little bit more equipped to be able to, handle some of these machine things. So, it's a really cool fight. But now we really see the Ryloth Corporation, open up the bag of goodies.
Yeah.
Because they got some nasty stuff. So, the humans, the Alliance and the Na'vi Alliance, I guess, are doing pretty well. But, of course, they're getting pushed back. They're like, oh, no. Oh, God. We're going to lose. Oh, everyone's in trouble. The second in command gets shot, because he sacrifices himself to atone for what he did. Michelle Rodriguez is about to die. So, everyone's in that little bit of mortal danger. Oh, no. What's going to happen? Are all the heroes about to die? No. The music swells, and here comes nature. Because in the movie, that beat took way too long. And it was not impactful at all. But this time, we're going to do it right. And the music swells and when animals attack. Rah, 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 rah. It's super awesome.
Yeah, the world
yes,
comes to its
Pandora
own defense.
Stepping up to stop Ryloth is amazing. Jake has his battle with Stephen Lang in the mech. It's really cool. And, Tiri's there. They're helping. They stab him. And he's like, you think this is over? See you soon, Jake. And Jake's body collapses as he's pulled out of the rig as the real Stephen Lang.
Oh.
And a couple of Ryloth goons. Because, again, the base, their Alliance base, is based. Everyone's fighting right now. There's a skeleton crew there. Uh-huh. There's a small cadre of Ryloth guys that went there to, just stab everybody and kill everybody. And the real Stephen Lang is now there. And of course, he looks like Stephen Lang, but he's just a little skinnier. Because he was a buff dude.
Yeah.
But he's just a little skinnier guy. Because he's clearly this is the guy who's piloting these bodies. Mm-hmm. He fights Jake, and Giovanni Ribisi busts in with a machine gun. And takes out a couple of the goons. The scientists actually now are fighting for their lives against these other goons or whatever. And there's a cool little fight in the main control room. Jake uses the abilities that we saw him use at the beginning when he fought in the wheelchair to take out Stephen Lang. We see that he can fight even though he's paralyzed, and it's really cool. Unfortunately, Jake is mortally wounded in the fight when he kills Stephen Lang. Jake's at death's door. Oh no, what do we do? Grace has an idea. Well, what if we upload Jake's consciousness from his dying body into the avatar?
Yeah.
So, same thing happens, but this time it's not just like a reward, you did it. It's no, this is the Grace Hail Mary.
Yeah.
That we did not need in the movie to prove that what this thing was. So now it happens. Oh, can it work? He's awfully weak. Can the tree do it? I don't know. We're running out of ideas. This is just, you should be able to. You guys are talking to all sorts of different things. And of course it works.
Yeah. And it's a miracle.
And it's a miracle. And the seeds descend upon Jake now because he's truly one with the planet now. This was what they were. That's what the seeds were for. He was chosen by the World Tree. He's now ascended to his final form. He's really like the leader of the tribe now. Everyone's super happy.
Yeah.
Everyone's great. The Alliance gets to stay on Pandora because they helped the Na'vi. Ryloth gets kicked out. And Jake's now able to, he saved 2 worlds.
Yes.
And so now, but he gets to stay in that role of both a Na'vi, he's a Na'vi now, but also like a good touchstone, a go-between between him and the Alliance, who get to stay on the planet to study the actual resource.
Yeah.
And they get to get some of the Crunchium to help a little bit of, but also what the plan is, we are going to use what we take here to search for further in this solar system, because that's how geology works, because all the metals and the cool stuff were created in the sun of the solar system. So, like, when the solar system formed, there's probably more Crunchium somewhere here in the solar system.
Yes.
We don't have to necessarily mine your planet for it. We appreciate your help in giving us a little bit to save our clan. But we respect yours as well.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And so we're going to search around a little bit. And hopefully we find a natural deposit. We weren't going to hurt anybody. Which leads into the second one, which is,
them going to another planet.
Go to another planet, or the Na'vi joining up, or Ryloth still out there. Like, there's a lot of stuff
There's
still.
a lot of stuff hanging. Yeah.
But, like, the humans are also the good guys.
Yeah, that's great.
We're not just evil, greedy bastards.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
And there's an evil avatar.
There's an evil avatar.
How? There's a lot of cool things you can do with piloted bodies.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. That's rad, dude.
Thanks.
That's really good. Good job, team.
We did it.
I think was very clear what we thought was the weakest part of this movie, and we both approached it very differently.
You excised it.
I just cut it right out. I was like, get out of here. We don't need you. We don't need you at all. It's a bummer. All right.
It is. Hopefully the
I'm
Wave
excited
Water.
for the second movie.
I hope it's. I mean, he had a decade to write this script. Well, again, here's hoping that the idea is a little bit more fleshed out.
Delegate it, Cameron. Delegate it.
Yes, just delegate it. You had the power to say no. Come up with like, the general story beats and have somebody like fill in some of the detail.
Yeah.
It's details.
Uh-huh.
Just if you're worried about the tech and the look and the stuff, great. Just fill out the basic story and let someone else handle the details that make everything work.
1,000%. 1,000%.
If you're doing $1 billion production, let a couple other people,
Get a
chefs,
better screenwriter.
yes, get a couple people in the room so they
Punch
can
it
make
up just a little bit. That was the one thing about Avatar is like, man, this movie's not funny at all. There is nothing funny. There's no levity in this movie.
It really isn't. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that. There's no levity in the movie.
Because it's an opera. Just shut up and enjoy the songs.
It's pretty good, but it could have been better. And hopefully the second one's, or makes it, he's like, oh yeah, this should have been made. And the third and the fourth and the fifth should also be made. There's so much story here. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think we did it, bud.
We did totally do it.
We did it, bud. We did it. Oh, now I'm excited for the second movie. Oh, boy. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Thank you guys so much for listening and viewing and listening and all that good fun stuff. If you like the show, tell your friends. If you like the show, maybe leave us a review. If you're listening in the audio format, if you wouldn't mind going down to the little review section, leaving us 5 stars, and maybe telling us your favorite
animal from Pandora.
Your favorite Pandora animal. Just leave that in the comments and leave us 5 stars.
They all had names. Yeah.
Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, like, subscribe, and hit that bell, and do that YouTube that you do so well. You should know how to be a good steward to the content you like.
Yes. Steward that content.
Steward it up, indeed. We love making this show, and we love that you guys love listening to this show. And we will catch you guys next week for Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3, technically a Christmas movie. Oh wait, it's a movie that takes place at Christmas. It's a movie that takes place at Christmas. That's what happened. It's going to take place during the holiday season. That's right. It's a movie.
Wow, that really actually triggered me.
Yes, it did. You did. You were triggered. That's why I'm trying to turn it off. Turn it off.
I was like, it is not.
That's why we picked it. It's a movie that takes place during the holiday season.
Yes.
That's why we picked it.
It definitely needs a fix.
And it needs a fix.
Oh
my God, I'm so sorry.
So this week, if you want to come catch the watch along of Iron Man 3, join the Discord. The link's down below.
Mm-hmm.
And as we end every episode, heartbreak feels good in a place like this.
It's the slow stalking Pandoran jaguar that you never see coming.
And how?
Rar. Jake Sully.
Bye, guys.